Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Well, I've got quite a nice rack, but it's unbalanced. Only one vowel. So, how to sort it out? And L, N, R, S, T are the 5 best consonants, so slightly tricky. If I play LV, I would need to play the E, and I'd get 12 points. I'm minded to change here. Get rid of L, get rid of V. Should I get rid of one more consonant? I think I'm going to keep all of them. And hope I don't draw 2 consonants, and even if I do, opponent may play a vowel. Fantastic. That has worked out. I draw an A, and my bingos are Argents, Garnets, and Strange. Fantastic. I was just waiting to draw 2 consonants and have egg on my face. I think playing off one more, trading one more consonant may have been okay. However, this has worked out perfectly. I will almost certainly be bingoing. Opponent changes, that's fine. Now, Argents takes an M in front, so I'm not playing that. Garnets, yeah, I think Garnets can't be beaten. Wow, pretty awful. F and V go particularly badly together, and B and F make it worse. However, I do have a couple of vowels, so it's likely that playing through this will be better than changing. And I'd like to split up F and V, so a play of half would do that. Nowhere great for that at the moment. Well, I guess halfa is good. I've got the ubble ending, but with F, H and V, I don't think I can do anything with that. So do I have any V options? I guess I have verb through the R. Obviously, opponent's play is going to change the complexion of the board, but were he to change again, verb would have the merit of taking out the double-double lane in column 5. Now I have B half on my rack. Does that take an S? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't, but it is valid. Oh, wow, an opponent bingos. Brutal. 63 points. So, what to do? I lead by only 7. Opponent has not played a V. I don't have a D or an S for going on the end of ergo ties. I have favel in row N, but that doesn't get doubled. I guess I could play favels here. 24 points. What else is on offer? What about a play parallel to ergo ties? Well, I've got bar, 29 points, but that retains F and V. What about this I? Do I have anything through this? Well, I do. I have belive. And that's quite a nice keep because far is a word in itself. I don't have 2 E's. So I am going with for vowels for 24. Well, I draw the Z, which is almost always a welcome sight. I have ZHO and D goes in front of that. I have DZOS in column 10 for over 30 points. I have a D for ergotize. Wow, DZHO and ergotize would be immense. Hopefully, well, possibly opponent may be drawn to my F. Now through an E, I have Zybeth. That plays in column 4. That would get a decent score with the H being doubled. And I have Fizz in column 1, so I do actually have a range of options, but all of them involve row O. So if opponent's got a big play in row O, that could be bad news. I do have Zybeth in column 8, but for a very lowly score. Now, ZE is good. So do I have any ZO? OL not good, so that's not going to play twice. Well, I guess I have the DZOS play in column 10. Oh, look at this. Absolute fantastic stuff. 18 points for opponent. And DZHO for 62 points remains available. Bang! Fantastic. Now I draw the Q, but I do have an I to go with it. Scant consolation given the Rackley, but as it stands, I have cheese in column 10, and that will be taking out 2 useful floaters. I now have a lead that I'd like to preserve. I don't have to play the Q. I note that the remaining tiles on my rack can be used to make Wimble onto the E for a lowly score, but sorting the rack out, with the exception of the Q. Now I have cats in column 2, preserving my vowel. 16 minutes on my clock, 15 on opponents. So any other Q options? I've seen cheese, I've seen cat. Well, not really. I guess onto an N I would have chin. None available. Do I have any alternative plays which keep the Q? Alternatives to Wimble, which, although it sorts the rack out, doesn't score very much. Well, yes, because I have Wemb in column 4, and that keeps the I to go with the Q, so that is a serious candidate move. Any of my Q plays is going to leave a horrendous rack, but Wemb isn't. Great, only 22 points for opponent. So this is what I'm thinking of. 28 points, preserving the Q, 3 U's to come. If I draw a U, this rack is fine. If I don't, I've got cheese in column 10, I've got cat in column 2, and row D. W, M and B are, well, all pretty non-bingo-y, so I'm glad to see the back of them. 28 points. Just wondering if I have something similar through the A of Capita. No, the best I can see is Blore, and that keeps the M. I am going with Wemb. Well, no U. However, I have cheese in column 10, cat in column 2, but given I've got 2 I's, I'm minded to look for a play which plays off an I. Now, I've also got an N for chins. Does that offer anything? Don't think it does. CH is the only two-letter C word, so I don't have a play in column 4 or column 6. There is an I in capita for chi, but I have better options elsewhere. So, what's my favourite? Well, I think it's got to be cheese in column 10 because that splits up the duplicate I. And I'm not seeing anywhere else for QI. So, 81-point lead. Can I maintain that? Still both blanks to come. Are there any longer Q words I haven't considered? Trank through RA. Well, RA isn't a word. Sank onto a C. Well, that it has a lowly score. But if cheese is blocked, it may be a candidate. Now, fantastic bingo for opponent. My beautiful lead shrinks dramatically. Opponent plays a U. It doesn't assist. Unreeve takes D and S. I have neither. So, here we go. Cheese for 32. So, is Towneley good? And does it play? Well, I don't think it does play, and I don't think it is good. But it doesn't play, which is the main thing. Now, I still have nothing to go on the end of unreeve. Still 3 Ds and 2 S's to come, and a blank. So, what am I going to do with this rack? It is balanced, but I'm not seeing a bingo here. I do have LY and ILY endings. Oh, wow, what a fantastic pair of back-to-back bingos for opponent. There goes the second blank. Opponent now takes the lead by 30 points. Still nowhere for Towneley. I did keep back an I last turn for QI, but that doesn't go well with W and Y, which are the tiles I'd like to play off. So what does your look like? That's 28 points. Not a fabulous rack leave, although these are all bingo-y tiles. I don't have an A or an E. But there are A's and E's on the board. I think it's worth playing off one more tile for four more points. 32. Am I going to beat that? No, there are no two-letter V words, so I don't have parallel plays in rows M or O, which might score well. C is likewise hampering columns 4 and 6. Yep, I am going with yawn. Wow, and a grim pick. All these duplicates. And I can't see a way of sorting them out and sticking an I next to this Q, which is a shame. Well, the best I can do is Lilo, which still doesn't play in that spot. And still no D or S for unreeve. However, I only trail by 2 points, so this game is not a lost cause. But what to do? No scoring tiles, no bingo. So, in terms of sorting the rack out, unwinding the duplicates is fairly high probability. Fairly high priority, rather. And I can do that with oil. But where am I going to play that? And what's it going to score? Oh, wow, a third back-to-back bingo. That has dramatically altered the game. I now trail by 100 points. Wow, what a run of bingos. So 27 tiles to come. Both blanks have gone. What to do? So I'm looking to play off oil. What a grim prospect when you're 100 points behind, and how things change. I was sitting on an 80-point lead moments ago. Well, I could still come back into the game. I do trail by only 100. Just such a difficult rack to deal with. I'm looking at the scoring tiles on the board. The Z, well, this isn't. This is a 0 score, so I'm looking at the Q. But all I can see here is Oi. 15 points, better than changing. 12 minutes on my clock. But horrible rack leave. Through an M, I would have Tymo Lol. M of Wemb unavailable. Well, what about doing this? Low tick for 14. Blowing the board wide open, retaining an eye for QI. Opponent has to deal with column 1 because that's a 9-timer lane, and opponent may not be able to score well in that spot. And I have then got the rest of the board to bingo in. There's a double lane in row K. There's column 14 for a 7-letter plays. I am going with this. Well, I'm a stranger to the A's and E's, and I don't have a bingo. I would have heliogram through E and A. So how to sort this rack out? Not easy. And I think the difficulty of getting the I next to the Q is the limited number of tiles which go next to the I. None of my consonants go next to the I, and not many words end in an I. I've got glim in column 4. Let me check the remaining vowels. 14 out of 30, so it's a balanced bag. But with O's and U's amongst them, so although it's a balanced bag, the bingo-y vowels are limited. So, how to sort this rack out? Just limited opportunities on the board. Low tick has taken out the H spot next to the C, and the C of Dakari is not available for CH. I'm wondering if I do have a play ending in I. Not seeing one. So this is the tricky situation. 30 points for opponent, good score. Tricky situation where I've just seen no candidate plays. So do I leave the 9-timer column alone, or do I play there? Because I can do this. I think I play. Because it's 36 points, I can't afford to get too far behind opponents. This isn't a terrible rack leave in the context of the rack as a whole. 36 points would take me to 298 within a bingo's reach of opponent, and there are lanes on the board. Column 14, row K, difficult to block both, plus the floaters in Zaratite. Now, let me just take this back. Through an E, I would have home girl. No E's available. Okay, let me go back to plan A. Wow, more drudge and sludge. What a wretched game this has been. In the second half, it started off fairly brightly with garnets and Zoe, but pretty much all downhill since then. I don't think I have a bingo here. Through an N, I may have ruddling, but no N's available. No scoring tiles on the rack. I still have an eye for the Q. So I have lurid. I do finally have an opportunity to play in column 11, and I'm minded to make that play. It sorts out the duplicate D, burns the U. An alternative would be gilded in column 12, which I think is good. Oh wow, 43 for opponent, nice score. So this game is slipping away from me. But this is what I'm thinking of. Lurid for 26 points, keeping DG. 24 for gilded. Yeah, 24 for gilded. R is a much nicer rack leave than DG. I'm keeping open the floaters in Zaratite. I am taking out the double-double lane, but column 14 still available. I'm expediting the end of the game, which I don't want to do. However, what I'm primarily doing with this rack is getting rid of non-bingo tiles. I am going with this. Not good. Ouch. The problem with lurid was the DG keep, not bingo-y. D and G often appear at the end of words with ED and ING prefixes. What about Guddle? 18 points. Keeping IR, still 3 eyes to come. Duplicate eyes, bad news. It's worth spending a little while on this play. My only hope of winning could come with making the right choice here. And the issue with Guddle is that it doesn't get the D doubled, so I may be sacrificing points. I definitely wish to play off the U. So what plays do I have? I have urged. I have girled. Keeping DI. And what was lurid? 26 points, keeping DG. Tricky. I'm going with lurid for 26. Okay, well, non-bingo vowel heavy. And opponent plays join, of course. So 7 tiles in the bag. I think Jow is the play here. It sorts out the duplicates. But this game certainly is lost. So Jow for 33. Well, no. I was going to say it looks close to a bingo, but I'm not sure it deserves that epithet. The best I can see are 9-letter plays, vaginated, navigated through T and E. So, what can I do here? 4 tiles in the bag. I trail by 100. Opponent on turn, 7 minutes on their clock, 7 minutes on mine. Can't see any 4-letter extensions of home. Wow, this E, such a useful bingo floater, and it's been left alone for a long time. But it doesn't give me a bingo this turn. Very close. If my I were a T, I would have vantaged. So what to do? Well, it depends on how many tiles are in the bag. Opponent likely to leave one. And given that this game is not winnable, even if there's one tile in the bag, I don't think it's worth fishing for a bingo. I'd be better off trying to score and go out in two. Can't see anything down from the A. Now, vading is good. Is there anywhere for that? And do I have anything through this E which uses the V? Wow, not seeing anything. Well, I have invade. It doesn't get the D doubled, but it does turn over tiles. Now, 24 for opponent. One tile in the bag. Opponent is not going to bingo, or very unlikely to, so I don't need to block anything. I have navade on my rack. Nowhere for that. Not seeing a double-double through the T. So what about playing jived? Keeping double AN, that's a pretty decent three-letter set. If I draw an O, I have an O, which plays in column 4. And possibly somewhere else. But I think jived for 24, I'm not going to do much better than that. And I draw the Y. So do I have an out? Gosh, maybe I don't. I don't have a 4-letter play on my rack, so it's a matter of looking at the tiles on the board. And I'm not seeing anything. What about just considering any additional tile? I'm just mentally going through the alphabet in my mind. No. Wow, no 5-letter words with this 4-letter set. Gosh. Nyanza is good as a 6. But I do have the Y for score. So where can I get value from that? Opponent's got LOS, so certainly is going out. Any hot Y spots? Well, what about doing this? Nay for 25. Lotica not good, it's Lorica. Yeah, I can play any here. Wow, that was nice of opponent. 33 points. And takes me over the 400-point mark. So opponent surely going out with LOS, has Sol and Holmes. And the final score, 4-14 to me, 5-14 to opponent, a winning margin of 100 points, so well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Absolutely amazing stuff. 3 back-to-back bingos for opponent. So here we go. It was me to go first. I changed. I could have got 24 points, but I think changing and keeping rents is worthwhile. Rents 24 points better than LR. I think it's going to be close. LR is going to be maybe worth 1 or 2, whereas rents must be, well, certainly between 15 and 20. But on the opening move, your play is providing a lot of floaters to opponent, and the rule of thumb is 2 points for every floater, so Vents would be worth 10 points, and 4 of these tiles are super bingo-y, so I'm still happy with my play. Opponent also changes, and here we go. My exchange has worked out, and I have garnets. Opponent spots ergotize, and now I have a tricky rack. Beelar, that's nice. J5. Wow, parallel to ergotize. And N1 behave for 28. So Fivels for 24, keeping BH. Behave would have been a better play. Opponent struggling with 2 U's, plays Fear. And here we go. This is the apex of my game. This was the point where I just saw sunny weather and blue skies. Zoe for 62. I have a huge lead. And opponent does not have a bingo. So 50-point lead. Oh, Kibler D1. Oh, rats. Should have spotted that. I play Wem for 28. Keeping the Q. Gosh, well, Kibler would have been better. Even though it would have given opponent a nice Q score. But opponent's got a bingo, unreeve. And I've still got the Q, although I am able to jettison it for a decent score. Now, look at this for 7 random tiles. Choice of bingos. Opponent plays Zaratite. No bingo for me. I3. Wow, Wingy. Capitan NY. That's all nice. I play Yawn for 32, so Wingy certainly better. And here we go. 3rd back-to-back bingo for opponent. Plays Dakaris for 90. Could have played Searst in the same spot, getting the C doubled. Now, my rack less salubrious. And I play Lotic for 14, but D11. Olio, Chi and Io. I think that would have been a better play. Better score, better rack clave. Opponent plays Kif. And home looks fine. So I'm only 72 behind, so it's not over yet. But this starts to put nails in the coffin. 43 points, 2/3 of a bingo, and my rack is simply not improving. So I play Lurid. I could have played Druid in the same spot, which would have been a nicer rack leave. GL more synergetic than DG, and Druid would have scored more. 40 odd points for opponents straight after the X play. So this is how it goes when you're drawing well. Oh, add Gigo, nice, 45. I played Jiao for 33. Opponent has Nep. Now, there is a spot for Vading, I1. Well, I think I overlooked the Capitan word. So I played Jive for 24, which is in the mix. Opponent plays Burg, and I have Any for 33. And finally, opponent goes out with Soul for 15. So, what a game. Absolutely amazing stuff. I got off to a good start, but then got hit by an absolute hammer blow with 3 back-to-back bingos, followed up shortly later by big X and J spots. So, just the way it goes sometimes. And it's nice when it happens to you and you suck it up. Sorry, it's nice when it happens. Yes, it's nice when it happens in your favour, but when you're on the receiving end, you just need to suck it up and move on to the next game. Anyway, many congratulations to opponent on their victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.